Virginia. Right. Welcome everybody live from Nashville. Here for the horses. Glad you're here for the horses. Today's going to be fun. We're going to talk about a couple cool things. I got a couple great questions this week, so we're going to go over that. I recorded a voiceover for Susie and her horse. So she had a great question. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about nuts and bolts for starting Journey Through the Horse. So those of you that are new for that, welcome. So excited. You're going to get a little preview today just to kind of help you out, make you feel comfortable to get started. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, just shoot me either a message or a voicemail or yeah, you can voicemail or email. Okay. And we're gonna get started on that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the voiceover that I did for Susie and her horse, who's super cute. And then I want to talk a little bit about avoidance, which is something that you might run into when you're working on your horse. And then we're going to talk a little bit about telling the difference between enjoyment, relaxation, release, and concern, which I know that we've talked about that kind of frequently. So some of you will be old pros at it, but um, I still see people struggle a little bit with telling the difference and when to kind of move forward and when to back off and stuff like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that also. Okay. So I'm going to put in the chat the clinic in case anyone needs it. There it is. So to be part of Journey Through the Horse, which is starting next week, you do need my online clinic. And a couple things that come along with that. So those of you that did get the online clinic, I want you to also make sure that you're on the coaching page. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you right now just um in case you don't know if you're on it. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. You know, my computer and my phone have been really slow here, and I'm not sure why. Okay, so here is the coaching page. Okay, this is the coaching community. It's the initials, Winning Your Horse's Heart Coaching Community. Okay. And what happens is you guys can come on here, and just so you know, um, it's just us. This is not open to the public. So this is private. All right. So this is why we post things on here because it's not open for anybody else. It's just for us. Okay. Let's see. Here is Susie. Okay, so she posted this question, and oh, there you are. See, this is what happens, guys. So Alexandra just asked to join. So then it pops up for me, and it says it'll say member requests, or it should at least. Yeah. And then I come here and I check to make sure that they have the clinic, and then I hit approve, and then you're in. Okay. So if you haven't done that yet, do that. And if you have the clinic already. Okay. So then you can come on here and like you can post questions. So if you post something on here up in the comments on the top, and you hit enter, it goes to a little holding bin for me so that I can see it. Okay. And if I see it, then I can go look at it and I either approve it, or if it's a video like we're doing for Journey Through the Horse, I pull up my speakover software and I do a voiceover on it, and then I'll actually deny your video because I have my own copy now with me talking, and I don't want two copies out there, one with me and one without. So what you're going to find is that when you submit videos to me, you're going to be denied essentially because I'm going to watch it, do a voiceover, and then put my copy up. Okay, so don't feel bad if you're like, oh, she kicked that back. That's how it works. Okay. But like for questions and stuff, I'll definitely put the questions up. So Susie wrote, I have noticed in the post videos that horses are just on leads, and we're going to talk about that. Okay. And she said, today was the first day I attempted to give off some affections, to give some affections to Busy on her poll, ears, and face. I confidently clipped on the lead and got started. About 2 seconds in, my girl was living up to her name, trying to dig in my pockets, grab and hold my coat, grab the lead shank, anything but stand and enjoy the moment. Her toddler mind was fully committed to playing and having fun. During all this, I took a test video. It's under 10 minutes, I think. Miss Thing cooperated for about 2 minutes of those. So, is it okay to put her in cross ties while I'm working on her, or should I keep trying to get her to cooperate on the lead? Okay, so I love this question, and I'm so happy that does everyone understand the coaching community? I think we all got that. I'm so happy that she asked that. So if you ever have questions, make sure you ask because this is where good stuff comes from. Okay? And I'm gonna show, I had her send me the video, so we're gonna go over it together. But my ideal for horses, okay, is that we're all wearing white in a beautiful green field with a river running through it. The sun is shining. It's about 72 degrees. The birds are singing, okay, and we're all at liberty. Okay, we're all at liberty and we kumbaya through the entire massage. That is my goal. All right. But that doesn't always work. Okay. So if that's not what we can accomplish, then I would prefer, you know, um, a paddock. Okay, at liberty. Okay. If you can do it at liberty, awesome. Awesome. So a paddock at liberty would be great. Then after that, maybe like a paddock with a halter and lead rope. Okay. Halter and lead rope, paddock. Because I want them to be able to move. I want them to be able to move. I want them to be able to express themselves. I want them to be able to go, you know what? I'm out of here. Okay. Because the walk off is communication. I just was working on a horse. Oh, it was my own voiceover I did on myself for that bay gelding in the arena. At one moment, he was like, "I got to get out of here," and he wanted to walk off. That's great information for me. That means overload. Give me a break. Seriously, I can't do it. I got to leave the building. Okay, so I want them to be able to move because all of that information means something to me. Sometimes instead of walking off, they'll like slowly creep backwards. Okay. Do you want to correct that? No, because that's telling you, you know what? You're really close, but you're not quite on the spot that I really want you on. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to, do exactly what they want all the time. And I have multiple clients that tell me what to do all the time. And I go, no, I actually get to have a say in this. But wouldn't you want to know where they want to be rubbed? Especially if you were really close to it? Yeah. Okay. So if they're really slowly creeping back and you're rubbing, don't like follow them or correct them. See where it goes. Like where are they trying to put me? They're trying to put you somewhere. Okay. So I love that. So that's why I prefer paddocks, halters, lead ropes. I do like a halter on a horse. I don't do too many at Liberty. I'll do, my own horses, but I do have to sometimes tell them, actually we're gonna, do this or, don't do that or don't do that. In a stall would be my next level down. Okay. Because in a stall they can still move, but I don't know if you guys saw that red mare Vogue. I did her in the stall. I didn't like it as much. And what's funny is she actually moves around in the stall more than she does when we're out in the paddock. Okay. And the thing with that is she can only kind of go forward and back. She can't do like it's not a natural movement in a stall. And some horses, I don't know if you've noticed, they only circle one direction. So I don't like that either. Okay. So stall not so much. Cross ties are my least favorite. Least favorite. I don't like to massage horses in cross ties unless, and I have very specific reasons. You will see some videos with horses in cross ties with me. If I know there's a problem and I have to work on it. Okay. So there's a couple videos where I'm working on the glutes and the horse just happens to be 17 too. Okay. So I can't get on a stool and have a horse kind of moving around slightly. If I need to get on a stool to work on the top of the glutes, then I need the horse to stand there if they're that tall. So I'll put them in cross ties for that. I'll put them in cross ties if they're super busybody, like beyond busybody. But normally that's something else. That's normally some other issue you're working with. Okay. I'll put them in cross ties if I need to focus on an area. And the reason they're not in cross ties is because I want them to talk to me. I want them to tell me everything that they're thinking in the moment. And if they're in cross ties, they can't do that. You are silencing them. Okay. So when I need them to be quiet, because I need to get to work and I know what I need to do, and they might not like it that much, they're going to go in cross ties. Okay. So there are definitely situations where cross ties are used. Okay. And you don't listen, you don't need to feel bad about it. If you need to focus and you need to put them in cross ties, go right ahead. Okay. Don't feel bad about it. But ideally, we kind of want to be paddock, lead rope, halter. Now, you know what's cool though is that Susie sent me a video, and so I want to share that with you guys because I just was able to do a voiceover on it. Okay, so I'm going to share it with you, and you guys can watch the voiceover and just kind of listen to what I have to say about it. Let me pull it up first, or hold on. Any questions on that? Any questions on anything that I've said so far? And feel free, if you guys ever have questions during these, you can always raise your hand. And if you don't know where that's at, if you go to the react button, you can raise your hand like that. Okay. And then it also has lower hand. Alrighty. All right. So let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen here. Do. And then this needs to move. Okay. So it's in here, I believe. Yeah, here she is. All right. Here we go. Is the volume on? No, it is not. Hold on. Start it again. I'm going to do real quick for Susie. She had asked a question about her mare Busy. She's a busy bot. So she was asking, I didn't tie her, I had her in the stall.
Erin, for some reason, I can't
We
hear
can't hear
anything.
you. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear
We
now? Hold
heard
on.
this.
Let me start it. Oh, great.
Yes.
Yep,
Not the
good.
video, but I
Okay.
can hear you.
Is that better?
I can hear you, but not the video.
Could you hear any of the video at all?
The first 5 seconds.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
That's what I heard too.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's see now. For Susie, she had asked a question about her mare Busy. She's a busy bot. So can you guys hear that? I didn't tire
Now we can, yeah.
Okay. Her in the stall. But she seems to just be too busy for that. So should I tie her? So I thought I'd one, ask her to send me a video of it. And two, we'll talk about that tonight. But let's watch the video first and I'll do a voiceover. Here we go. She's cute. Look at that face. Oh, she's sweet. Okay, that's tension. Did you see her push at you? Oh yeah. So that's all tension. So that is a little bit too much for her, even as soft as you're doing it. So I would just stop the there you go. There you go. There you go. You got it. I would just stop the hand movement and just place your hand there. Oh, she's sucking on the lead rope. I'd probably let her do that because that might be part of her process. I always put crappy lead ropes on them if they need to do that, and let them do that. Yeah, that's tension. That's tension. Wow, nice job. Wow, that was great. Yep, good. Still getting it. Good. Yeah, good. Oh, nice job. Give her a break. Good for you. Look at her. She was like, "Where'd you get those hands? Where'd you get those hands?" Oh, she's cute. Yeah, so the fidgeting is kind of part of the process. I would probably ignore it to a point. Oh, do I see a yawn coming? Something's in there. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. Love it. Yeah. Fantastic. So you want to play around with your firmness. I'd go firmer because she's got stuff in there. So sometimes when they're real mouthy, you can go quite firm with them and see what that does. Sometimes they just need help getting it out. Yep, that's tension. That's tension. Oh, look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, you're good. Lovely. There's release. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, beautiful. It's a distraction for her too. Like she She knows the tension's there and you're messing around with it, so she's trying to self-soothe by doing that. So don't worry about that a bit. That's beautiful. Yeah, you can just step back if you want, or hold her halter. Doesn't matter. Uh-huh, I love it. Mhm. He's all right. He's zoning out on purpose. He's got a fair amount of tension up around those ears, so you're going to find that that decreases a lot. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it. So you can pretty clearly see where the tension's at, right, with her, because she gets kind of like, oh gosh, oh, here we go, what's going on? I think there's a fidget before release. That's perfect. Love it. We'll talk about that too. Fidget. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming. Okay, Susie, I love everything about it. You are on the right track. I love that you give her breaks. You can definitely tell where the tension is with her because she gets fidgety. Okay, so the more attention you get out, the better she's going to get at that, and you're going to see a lot more of those breaks of relaxation. So I think that's beautiful. I wouldn't do anything different. If you were to tie her up or put her in cross ties, you're gonna miss out on all that goodness. Okay, and then it's just not gonna be as enjoyable for you at the end. All right, cool, great job. Okay, so let's talk about that video. I don't know, but I loved it. I loved it so much. One, that horse is adorable. Okay. Um, and that one wasn't too fidgety to me. Like I think that was just kind of um a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some things that we saw. What are some things that you noticed? And you can raise your hand and then I'll call on you and you can unmute. What are some things you noticed in that were interesting to you? Go ahead, Linda.
This horse reminds me of my Haflinger Petra and how she is really tense. There's a lot, I mean, same issue, tension in her pool, in her ears, and she fidgets exactly like that. But I saw that mare kind of say, "Hey, thank you," like reach for her. I just really struck a chord with me because I see my mare do that exact same thing. Like, yes, thank you, but it's only a brief second and then move on. I don't
Yep.
want to hug now. I just want to say thanks.
Yeah. And I love it that they go directly to your hands a lot of the time. Isn't that
Hmm.
crazy, you
Yeah.
guys? They're
Yeah.
literally like, where did you get those? Are those new? Like, how did those all of a sudden know what to do? It's so fun. And then she like went up and smelled her face, which I think is very special. And I don't let a lot of horses do that. But to go to the hands and be like, where did you get those? Are those new? And then go to the face, is like really a special moment. So I love that about her too. All right, what you got, Marin?
I just noticed how she was so fidgety, and then she was like, "Oh, this is good."
She found the
It did-
moment.
I mean, even if it doesn't last very long, I can imagine my mare doing the same thing.
Yeah, and and it's like they it kind of like settles in for a second, and then they do pop out of it a lot of the time pretty quickly to start with, but those moments get longer and longer until they become relaxation. Okay, so that's really special. It's a special time when, I always say either they're going external or internal, and she kind of did. She went external once, but it was more of like a kind of a zone out, really. So that was fun to watch. And those moments where she kind of gets to relax and enjoy it are going to get longer and longer the more work she gets on. So that's fun. Yeah. What you got, Leanne?
Well, I thought it was very good that she stayed with her and she wasn't frustrated when she was doing avoidance. And that helped the horse learn that it was going to be good because it's probably the first time she's really ever experienced those sensations.
That's a
And
good
even
point.
when the horse was a little bitey, I mean, it wasn't aggressive. It was more like I think what you said, trying to distract a little bit. So I saw the horse using avoidance and distraction, but in the end, understanding, hey, this is good for me, which is why we stick with it.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And she, at the very end, she got fidgety. Did you guys see that? The pawing. Okay. So, and I think there was something about to come out, but I don't know if you noticed, but she kind of told her to not paw at the end. And I was like, let him do that. And same with kind of chewing on the lead rope. We don't like these habits, right? They're not good habits when they're done in tension and anxiety, but when they're done as part of a process to release tension, we can accept that. We can let that happen. And we can go get that 25-year-old lead rope that's been hanging in the barn for a while and use that one instead. And let them do that. If that helps them release tension, that sounds good to me. Okay. So definitely I saw all that. So I don't stop too much of that behavior. I'll tell you what I do stop though. Anything if they come around at me with energy. Okay. Like they can come around to me and be like, I don't like that. But if they bump into me, we're going to have a problem. Or if they push into me, or if they kind of, you know how a horse can get in your space and it can be sweet? And then a horse can get in your space and it can be the same spot, but it can be more aggressive. Okay. I don't allow that. I don't allow that. Okay. So those would be some things that I would shut down. Anytime I hear the mouth, because when they open their mouth to bite at you, it makes that noise. They don't get away with that one either. So I'm like the master at the karate chop, so I just karate chop straight down. Or sometimes I can just make a noise to stop them. And all of that is one, I always check, am I paying attention to what they're saying? Okay. Do I recognize that they're having issues with this? I normally do. And sometimes they just are going to have to deal with it because I got to help them out. But is there another method I could use? Is there a different technique I could use? You never want it to continue to escalate. Okay. So that's something that you're going to want to take a look at. Anybody else notice anything in that video? I loved it. I didn't have any problems with her fidgetiness, her moving around, nothing. That was awesome to me. What you got, Marge?
Well, I noticed when she relaxed, I think she was doing her ear and her head came down and she just looked like, oh yeah, this is nice. I'm really relaxed. And that
Yeah.
was good. I thought,
There were a lot of really beautiful little nuggets in that video, and I think what we're going to see is a really big transformation with that horse. So it's going to be fun. And then when Susie starts being like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay," then when the connection is made between the two, I think it's going to be really special. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit more nuts and bolts. I talked about make sure you're on the coaching community page. Yeah, if you have the clinic. Also, in that clinic, make sure to print off the workbook. Print off the workbook. And a lot of you have already, so let me see if I can pull it up in a timely manner here. My phone is a little, or my Computer is a little slow. Okay, so yeah, here we go. All right, let me pull it up and show everybody. If you haven't seen my online clinic yet, here is a sneak peek. Karen, you didn't put the code in or again. Did you notice that?
Oh, I tried. Oh, I
Well,
tried. Yeah.
we got to get it figured out. We got to get it figured out for you. Okay.
Okay.
We won't give
No
up. All
worries.
right. All right. Okay. Here we go. So here is, if you go to a dashboard and you have like a lot of like if you have your equine insights, seven telltale signs of tension, the ebook, you'll see that here. If you have flinch-free legs or how horses communicate, you'll see that on your dashboard. Okay. So go to the clinic. All right. I'm 25% through it. Yay. Okay. And then click on your clinic, and then this is going to pull up. Okay. So you have multiple sections here on the left side. If you go to the welcome, go to signs of relaxation, enjoyment, and concern, and scroll all the way down. And here's your downloadable workbook right here. Okay. So, I mean, and you don't have to print it off, but I do want you to know that it's there. Okay. Because what it is it's all of this stuff written out for you and a description of what I'm doing above. Okay. So like on the video ones, I have the video and then I have the description down here. So I want to make sure that you guys have supposedly there's a video. The videos aren't pulling up now. Okay, here we go. Like half of my stuff is working. Okay, here it is. I've had to restart my computer like twice for whatever reason. Okay, so the video is up here, and then as you scroll down, you're gonna have the kind of how you're doing it. Sometimes I have fun facts in there, okay? And then as you complete it, mark complete. What other times do I have stuff in there? Yeah, interesting factoids, okay? Action steps sometimes. And then I'll also have like do's and don'ts. Okay. So that's all in the clinic here. Safety tips and tricks. So this week I want you guys to take a little bit of time and go through the signs of relaxation, enjoyment, concern. We're going to talk about that today. And then I want you to also go through the safety tips and tricks. Okay. So we'll take a look at that together. And then my roommates are here. Hello. And then I'll give you guys the rest to do this week. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about signs of relaxation, enjoyment, and concern. And you guys can screenshot this if you don't have it, if you want. Because we're going to be noticing this all throughout Journey Through the Horse, okay? All through the clinic, all through what we're doing for the next couple weeks, next many weeks, okay? So we'll be talking about it. We'll be doing it as we go through also, okay? So when you submit your videos, you'll get some voiceovers like I did for Susie, and we'll talk about all that. And when we notice things happening, we'll talk about them, and you'll start getting a better eye for it. Okay. So, enjoyment. Okay. Enjoyment. We're gonna now I want you to be able to tell the difference between enjoyment, relaxation, and release. Okay. Enjoyment and relaxation, I'm not as concerned about. But release, I want you to know if a horse is releasing. And I want you to know that it's not enjoyment and relaxation. Now, why? Why does it matter? What does it tell you? What does it tell you? Yeah, go for it.
Well, it tells you if what you're doing is having the desired effect.
That's right. 100%. Okay. So if what you're doing is releasing tension, that's good information because that means the tension was there. If they enjoy something, cool. At least they enjoy this area. You can use that to your benefit. And I just wrote an email about this, I think, where I was like, if they don't like something, go somewhere they do like, and then go back to where they don't like, and kind of do approach and retreat with it. Okay, I think that was in the last email. It's like go if you need to sneak in, distract them with something that they like, and then sneak in for a second, and then go back to something that they like again, and do it quick so that oh, it was on a video. Do it quick so that when you go into the area they don't like, they're still kind of in that enjoyment, and they're like, wait a second, I don't like that spot, and then you sneak out again and go back to where you were. It's like, no, no, what are you talking about? Okay, so you're going to use that to your advantage. It works really well. And I do that with a lot of things that they're uncomfortable with. Okay. Okay. So enjoyment, they like it. You're going to use that just the way that I told you about it. Relaxation. Okay. We want to bring our horses into a state of relaxation for sure. If you're at a show, if your horse has anxiety around a trailer, go tie him to the trailer or stand by the trailer and put him in a state of relaxation. Put him in a state of enjoyment, right? Use it to your advantage. We don't need to be, well, I got to work them this, and this, and this, and this. Just help them enjoy the situation a little bit more, right? What do we normally use to coax horses into trailers? Treats, grain, food, a whip. Okay. So if you can just remove some of the tension that is focused around a trailer, then you can um, reduce the issues that you're going to have and just allow that situation to get better with time. I had a client, and it's just, I've talked about it before, but I find it fascinating that the horse had an issue with the wash rack. Okay. It got injured in the wash rack, and then it remembered it got injured in the wash rack, so it didn't want to go in the wash rack anymore. Okay. So my client told me that, and I said, well, cool. Guess what? We're doing a massage today. That horse went in the wash rack from that day on. That was a one-time fix. They had a one-time accident, and then I had a one-time fix with it. Okay. So that's just good stuff there. Because what you don't need to make a whole training program around trying to get the horse to not be freaked out about the wash rack. Because what's going to get involved in that? Probably something that's going to make the wash rack even scarier a lot of the time. Okay. So that's a great way. If you can reduce or bring enjoyment and bring relaxation to areas that aren't relaxed and aren't enjoy and they don't enjoy it, then you're doing pretty good. What you got, Nancy?
There. Well, Bunny, we've got a hitching rail in the barn there, and she got scared one time working with the farrier. Something, and I wasn't there, but he tried to tell me later. But she's still so nervous at the
Oh, really?
if she's tied to the hitching rail. And yet I massage her right there by it. We've got that open area, but she's still tied up. She just fusses and frets, and so instead of doing her not tied up, should I do her at the hitch? I mean, go ahead and loop the lead rope around and massage her right there.
Yeah, definitely. And if you have one of those tie blockers, that's all I use,
I
really.
do.
Yeah, use that because then if she needs to get out of there, she
Well,
can.
she pulls. I mean, I got her tied up with it, and she pulls and pulls and pulls until she's way at the end of it. And by then, I've come back.
I've seen her do
Oh,
that actually. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah. She just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I've
You,
worked
half
with
the
her
time you
on.
don't want to know what happened. You know what I mean?
Well, he tried to tell me, and I've tried to simulate the situation, but it hasn't worked. Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll try just tying her there with the tie blocker and massaging her, see if
Yeah.
that helps.
Change the change the dynamic of that position there if you can.
Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so release of tension. Release of tension. And generally relaxation is when their breath slows, their head goes down, eyes go down, ears relax, nostrils get soft, mouth gets soft, top line gets soft. Okay. Enjoyment can look hilarious. So if you want to know how my viral my all my videos, out of all my videos, I find those of you that are business owners, okay, that run whatever businesses, I always tell people it's not the videos that you want to go viral that are going to go viral. It's the videos that people think are funny, okay? So all my videos where I'm like teaching and like, here, try this on your horse. They do fine. They do great. But do you want to know what videos do the best? Oh, this is the best massage. When the horses are acting crazy and they got their head up and I'm scratching them and their head's up in the air and you know, it's all for show. That's not what I do, right? I'm trying to teach people, but the videos that go viral are the ones that keep watching these horses act hilarious. Okay. So, yeah, we all love enjoyment. All love that one. Okay. But release. So release is an indication that there was tension there. Now, we know the common signs of release. Yawning is our favorite, right? Yawning's our favorite. Licking and chewing, okay? Those are the main two that everybody talks about. Those are, yeah, rubbing the leg. Those are also the ones that are a little bit under fire now. I don't know if you guys have been hearing some of the posts where people are like, licking and chewing is not a sign of relaxation. It's a sign of stress and it's a sign of this. And I'm not buying it, you guys. I'm not buying it. And some licking and chewing is definitely tension. Okay. And it's harder to see, but you'll see me go, so you know who's Nancy's on here, right? Sam does that. Sam does tension, licking and chewing. Okay. So some of it you can kind of compare to fidgeting. Okay. Because they'll go like and then generally after that, when you get the tension out, they go, okay. So I I'm not 100% against that idea, but you can't tell me that when you're massaging a horse and you find a tight muscle and then you literally feel that muscle under your hand get soft and then they lick and chew, you can't tell me that's not a response from the lick and chew. That is 100% a release of tension. Okay. So same with yawning. Now, if the horse is yawning and it doesn't look awesome, you guys know what I like my yawns to look like. The bigger, the better. The uglier, the better. If it's not big, ugly, slow, drawn out, the eyes rolling back, the lips going up, if it's not ugly and big, then it could be a little bit of tension. But this is all like 10%, maybe five at the very most, 5, 10. Okay. So generally when you see a lick and a chew and a yawn, and it has to do with something that you just did, and it looks relaxing, then it's certainly going to be a release of tension. Okay. What you got, Jennifer?
On that same note, it's a question I've meant to ask you in the past and I never have. For a while, I saw a little bit of some talk going around by some people that I follow in the bodywork field that a gelding dropping his penis was a sign of tension.
No.
And I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but that to me seems quite odd. I sometimes so often when I'm massaging a gelding, especially when I get to the back end and I'm working on the hind, yeah, their penis just drops. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wouldn't do that if you were stressed out.
No. Okay. So that's the same situation. If it drops and it's, like when they're hanging out in on a beautiful sunny day and they get warm and everybody's just happy. They just had some water. They probably got fed and they drop and it's relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
That's relaxation, folks.
Yep.
It is. Okay. Because we can see it out in the pasture.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it, what does Linda Pirelli call it? The train coming out of the something or other. Um,
The
but I
station.
call it I call it the relaxometer. So if the
Yeah.
relaxometer comes down and it's soft, then that's relaxed. Now, if it comes down and it's a little bit firm, that's not relaxed.
Yeah. Okay.
So that might be what they're talking about. I wouldn't necessarily say it's tension, but sometimes they'll drop and then they'll do some screw around with it or something. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's tension. I don't know. I wouldn't call it relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you feel um if you feel like it is relaxation, it's probably relaxation. What was our word for today, Jenny? Intuition? Yeah. So if your intuition is telling you that that is relaxation, I would stick with that. And if your intuition is telling you, I don't know if that's relaxation, then I would stick with that. Because either way, you're still on a journey to figuring it out. Okay. You got to figure it out. So it's not like it matters that much if you're wrong either. You know what I mean? So you might be like, well, they have tension and I thought it was relaxation. Whoa. It's not the end of the world. We'll get it figured out at some point in time. Okay. So those are your main two that everybody talks about. But I want to talk about some releases that a lot of people don't know about and they miss them.
Mhm.
Okay. So Leanne mentioned rubbing the legs. Rubbing the legs. So when they go down and they rub their legs, now Chester loves to do this. He rubs his face on his legs, both sides. Okay. Or, rubbing their face. All of a sudden they're itchy. Okay. Rubbing their face on a post or coming around and biting the rib cage is another one. Relaxation or release. Okay. And those are generally followed up. Here's another way you can tell. Releases are generally in pairs of two, not always, but generally. So especially if you're doing like the leg rubbing one, that's probably going to be followed up by a licking and chew. If you just had a big head shake, they shook out the tension, that's going to be followed up by a lick and chew, might be followed up by a yawn, might be followed up by a big blowout. Okay, big blowouts are money for those stoic horses. That's money. Did you guys hear that mare blowout? That was guttural, man. That was a guttural blowout. I don't know if she always blows out like that or not, but that was deep. Okay, that was exciting. So, a nice blowout, head shake, full body shake, you win, you get to go home. Okay. Biting the rib cage, biting parts of their leg. I like the three-legged bite of the heel bulbs of the back foot. Okay, classic. Super good. Okay, so those are some of the things that we're going to be looking at. And just start recognizing them and start recognizing whenever they do it. Like I was just talking about when that gelding is out in the sun, recognize it. Okay, so then when something comes up in our future and the equine industry decides they've made a huge discovery, you can go, well, you know what I've noticed? I don't know about that. Because we want to know more. We want to think that we've fallen upon information that's now skyrocketing us into understanding. But if it doesn't line up with how it actually is out in the real world with the horses in the field, then I don't know, I kind of question it sometimes. Oh, Sarah says my gelding has rolled in his stall. You made him feel extra crazy. That's exciting. They have to roll after a massage. I like that. Who was I calling the sleeper? Shelley? Shelley Vaughn would put him to sleep. I called it the sleeper last year. She put multiple horses to sleep. And then I was a little jealous and I was like, I wonder if I can put a horse to sleep. I put 3 horses to sleep in a clinic. It wasn't me, it was the people, but I thought that was exciting. Okay. So yeah, sometimes they need to go to bed. Two things that they very common will do after a full body massage. This is kind of a side note, but I think it's interesting. They'll take a pee and they'll take a nap. Okay. Oh yeah, Jenny. Yeah, yeah. Totally. That was hilarious. And then she got other people to do it too. It's contagious when one of them lays down and rolls and stuff, or one of them falls asleep. They just like, okay, I guess we're going to bed now. It's funny. Okay. So yeah, after a full body massage, I always tell people water and leave them alone because they're gonna take a nap. And I like to it's almost well water, pee, take a nap. I always like to kind of see what order it's in if I'm around because a lot of times I'll do all the bars at the same time. Okay. So let's talk a little bit. I was going to talk about tension, but we all kind of know what tension looks like. So in the video, you saw the grinding, right? Grinding of the teeth. She also did that. Did you guys catch that in the very beginning? When she started working on it, she took her hand and she went like that. So they'll push you away. I like to pay attention to that. The dive down if you're working on their head, the head up. Horses know how tall you are, just so you know, because I'm tall, so I come after my clients and I'll do work on them and they'll throw their head up and then they kind of like look at me like you're still attached. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about a foot taller than your owner. So yeah, I'm still here. They're surprised. I normally shake her off by now. I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. Okay, they know how tall you are. So throwing their head up, throwing their head down, you know, kind of stepping away, like walking off. They'll do that. He got or she got a little kind of mouthy, but a lot of that to me was just nerves, kind of tension, didn't know what to do with herself, like a little bit of coping going on. Okay. Um, holding your breath. When they hold their breath, this is a stoic horse move. And it's really, you have to start catching it. If you have a stoic horse, I want you to pay attention to their breathing. It's so important. And then you'll start really discovering things. Okay. Nostrils, their mouth gets tight. They'll do like the one eye thing. Okay. Your extroverted horses are a little clear. They act like the world's ending. Okay. So they'll be a little dramatic. So sometimes you just have to, I get it. Was that too hard? I'm sorry. Tell them they're pretty. They like that. Okay. But let's talk a little bit. I did see some avoidance, and we talked a little bit about it in the video. I did see some avoidance. Okay. So, and that's similar to it's related to tension, right? When they're trying to avoid something, they're trying to avoid it because they know there's tension there and they're worried about it. So avoidance can be the head going away or down or up. Also pushing into you is avoidance because they're trying to get you off of them. Another great one that they'll do that is avoidance is they go. Yeah, especially if you're outside. Okay. It's the what's that over there? We fall for that so often. So often. Chester was the king. He doesn't do it anymore. I mean, he does it now when I'm working him on the ground, you know, but he doesn't do it during massage anymore. So that's an improvement. So the what's that over there? Going external. Okay. Let's see. Kristen, what was Candy's favorite avoidance move? I remember what it was. She was the queen. She did it in her first 3 videos. The backup.
Oh yeah. She just that's what she does. I'm just like, what? Oh yeah, she does it
Yeah,
pretty much every time.
the backup. They try to literally like back up out of the work. That was hilarious. We should pull that video up again. That was a good one. Okay. And then kind of biting and nibbling and chewing on things. Distraction. Okay. So those are some things that they'll do. I mean, they'll try to walk off too. So I definitely listen to that one. And if they're in cross ties, it's really funny because they go "Ooh," on both sides. I'm like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Okay. So just some things to think about. Any questions on that? Any questions? Any questions other than that? Okay, cool. So I am gonna be learning how to write a book in the next 2 days. I probably won't write a book, but this is a book writing conference. So we'll see. I'm meeting a bunch of the people that I've known for the last 2 years with this marketing stuff, so it should be fun. Be nice to get to know them. Nashville's cool. Nashville's a cool place. The airfare was not as expensive as I thought it was going to be, so I was excited. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so you guys are set up. If you need anything this week, send me messages. Karen, we're gonna get you set up here. Okay, so I won't forget. I might not do it right now, but we'll do it. We'll do it before we start. We'll get you set up. I should write a book. Nancy, you're hilarious. You're hilarious, Nancy. Yeah, but homework is check out the clinic if you're doing Journey Through the Horse. Get your workbook if you want it. You don't have to download it. You can take a look through that. You can kind of peruse the clinic, get used to it. Any questions about, oh, someone else had asked some really good questions like, am I going to be able to keep up? You know, those of you who've done Journey Through the Horse, you can definitely keep up, can't you? We're not overwhelmed too bad, so you can definitely keep up. You do not need fancy equipment. You do not need a nice phone. And we don't care about how the videos turn out either. You know, we're not, I had the worst phone for so many years and it was what it was, you know? So no worries if the videos don't look good. If I can tell what's going on, you're good to go. Okay? All right, there you go. There's your homework. Have fun this week and starting Journey Through the Horse next week. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you. See you later.